What's up everyone? Nick from ResoNix Sound Solutions, and today we're going to be doing a quick video on an unboxing of our new ResoNix GUS-15 Shallow Subwoofer. It's pretty exciting. This is our last production sample before we go to mass production. I figured I would use this opportunity on the last one that I'm opening to show you what you will experience when you receive and open your GUS subwoofer. Let's get into it. So we have our outside shipping box. This is a dual wall corrugated box, pretty simple. But inside we will have our actual beautiful pretty box for this subwoofer. So actually I probably shouldn't have cut that yet, but this is what we're gonna have right here. This is what we're gonna see at the top. So this is what we have. This is our final box for these. We're gonna open this up and we're going to see that we have a nice, foam facing, and we're gonna see, our QR code with Gustavo introducing it for the manual. This QR code, if you scan this, will go right to the product manual. It should answer every question you could possibly have on it. We also have our tube connectors, which we will go over soon, as well as mounting hardware. Yes, we are supplying heavy-duty screws and a tool to install this. I'm gonna put these in my pocket for now, and we are going to pop this out, and we will be introduced to our subwoofer. Now that the box is out of the way, we are left with the subwoofer in the shipping bag. Before we remove it from said shipping bag, I wanna go over the hardware that we are including with the GUS subwoofers. First is plenty of heavy-duty screws that are going to be used to mount this to your enclosure. Also included is the Allen key to install those screws right here. And then we also have 4 tube connectors that are going to allow you to easily connect your amplifier speaker wires to the terminals of the subwoofers. So they're right here. They're very similar to banana connectors, but what differs from banana connectors to tube connectors are going to be able to handle way more current and are going to be much more robust. So these are going to handle plenty of power. You're going to blow the subwoofer before you have any electrical problems with these. Again, they just allow for an easy and quick insertion, quick swapping, quick troubleshooting if needed. It's better, in my opinion, than having to unscrew stuff and things of that nature. They are plenty tight and, again, super serviceable, super easy. It was a premium option, but again, you're purchasing a premium subwoofer, you should have premium options all around. So getting into removing this subwoofer from its shipping bag, the final reveal, or the initial reveal, I guess I should say. And here we have our GUS-15 Shallow Subwoofer. This is exactly what you're going to be receiving. I'm very excited for this. So we'll go over some of the physical traits of the subwoofer, starting at the top. One of my favorite little details that's not important to most people, but again, when you're designing such a premium product, I want everything to be perfect. What we did, instead of using a standard off-the-shelf rubber gasket, we decided to tool our own. We have a 3D design here that, one, looks cool and also fits around perfectly and is very snug. Unlike the off-the-shelf ones, which can fit loosely, don't really look that great, and can kind of get bunched up once you start, putting pressure down on these with the hardware. This one, again, is made specifically for this subwoofer. I actually want to show you how I want you to use your mounting hardware with this in mind. So most people will just take their screws, put it right through the opening, tighten it down. Sometimes the screws will get caught on this rubber boot. That's not what I want you to do. Again, you have a nice looking piece here. What I want you to do is treat it with care. When you have it in your enclosure, you're gonna peel the face of the gasket off to the side. You're gonna install your screw right through it, and then you're gonna put it right back over it, and you're gonna be able to tighten it straight through the opening. What I did was I wanted these openings to be relatively small. I didn't want them to be these giant things. I think it looked better. It was a more premium feel. It helps hide the hardware while still leaving just enough room so you can tighten it or loosen it. Anyways, moving on from said rubber gasket, we have our high roll rubber surround. This was optimized and custom tooled for this subwoofer. Has a very linear stiffness to it across stroke. It doesn't add anything within the rated excursion that we have for this subwoofer. And moving on from there, we have my favorite part is the cone. For this subwoofer, we went with a Nomex honeycomb with a carbon fiber skin. The reason we did that was, you know, as you can see, and as you know, the design intent for this subwoofer was a shallow design. And part of a shallow design is you need to optimize everything to have as little depth as possible. Most subwoofers have a convex shape to them where, you know, they start high and they taper inwards, and this helps add rigidity while using less expensive cone materials. For us, that convex shape, it was eating up too much depth, so we had to go with something that is flat for the sake of reducing as much depth as possible. The thing is, when you go with a flat cone, you open yourself up to cone flex across stroke. This flex adds a ton of distortion at lower frequencies. You can see this with a lot of other subwoofers on the market. We won't get into that. But for us, we couldn't have that. As you know, our goal here is as low of distortion and as high linearity as possible. So what we had to do was we had to find a material that can act as a suitable cone material for this driver and provide the stiffness, provide the rigidity, and provide the strength and resilience for a car environment that is needed for this application. And what we ended up with was, again, a Nomex honeycomb skinned with carbon fiber. This is a material that's used in the aerospace and marine industry for body panels that need to be very lightweight, but again, very strong, very stiff, very rigid. This stuff, it's frankly, it's the coolest stuff I've seen on a subwoofer to date. You know, it looks great. It's very strong, as you can see. Nothing happens to it. Do that with your subwoofer. You'll punch a hole straight through it. That's pretty much it. Going down from here, you're gonna see we have our custom tooled spider spacer. We ended up painting this matte black or satin black to help, you know, again, keep the look unique but also subtle at the same time. Instead of just raw plastic, again, we wanted to have a premium look to every part of this. You know, premium performance, premium looks, goes hand in hand. Moving on from there, we actually have our dual mirrored spiders on the 15-inch. On the 12-inch and 10-inch, we only have a single spider. But the reason we went with two spiders on the 15 is so we can mirror them, and this will allow us to have a symmetrical suspension, symmetrical stiffness across stroke. Right above the suspension, it's going to be really hard to see from these angles that I have set up here, but you will see the rear pusher cone. This is what connects the voice coil former to the Nomex honeycomb cone. And what this is going to do is it's going to provide a little bit more stability. What you're going to see around it is a lot of vent holes. And what this is going to allow is venting through not just the pole piece, but through the pusher cone as well. This is so if you need to truly mount this in a very shallow enclosure and you have to get this subwoofer pretty much pressed up against the back of the enclosure, you are not going to end up with venting issues and mechanical noise from that situation. It's going to allow for a noise-free operation no matter how you have this mounted. Part of our testing was actually to cover this pole piece with tape while we run tests. If we can hear noise, if we can measure any differences, it was not acceptable. And we actually came up with, again, an end result that had no change. The reason we still have the pole piece is obviously it's part of the motor design, but also more venting is never gonna be a bad thing. So yeah, moving on from there, we do have these premium terminals, which I really like. This is something I picked out myself, and this is what the tube connectors are for. So these terminals, you're gonna be able to see, you know, they just unscrew and they will have the ability to insert your speaker wire right through it. But for those that want something a little nicer, you're gonna be able to take these tube connectors and just insert it right in and you're good to go. Again, these tube connectors are definitely different than banana plugs. They are able to handle way more current and they're gonna be fine in this application. The way these work is really simple. You're just going to unscrew the housing. You're gonna have 2 set screws here, and you're gonna be able to install your wire, put this back on, and you are good to go. What else do we have here? Looking inside through the spider spacer and the basket, you're gonna see this monster Neo motor and 4-inch voice coil. This motor and coil setup allows for 25 millimeters of linear one-way BL limited excursion. And then going to the back here, we have this stainless steel cover over the Neo magnet that is gonna have our logo, the model, and some more information, including your serial number and patent pending. This thing, for as shallow as it is, it's a beast. I really don't know what else to say about it other than that. It has incredible distortion performance, incredible linearity, and for how shallow it is, it's just incredible. If you have any questions about the ResoNix GUS subwoofers, feel free to leave a comment, feel free to call us, email us, hit us on the live chat on our website. We are always here to help, and I'm always here to make sure you make the right decision on your car audio system. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.